Now we're going to take a look at the second spreadsheet. Now this one is very, very elaborate. So you'll pardon me if I look at my computer while I'm talking to you about this. And this is broken up into so many different sections. Now this particular spreadsheet comes to us courtesy of one of my star students, and that is Water Farmers of Toronto, Canada. And they're quite happy for you to use it, so long as you give proper credit, of course. Now, some of the sections are, look, you start off and the first section is talking about system specifications. So you will be asked the questions, what's your anticipated stocking density? What's your growing area? How many square metres of growing area you're going to have? The total area of the whole greenhouse, for example. Fish harvest mass. How much fish are you going to have to harvest? What kilograms of fish are you going to have to harvest? And I'm sorry, I'll just break in there. It's all in metric, it's not in imperial. And I'm sorry if you have a bit of a problem with that, but it's really not too hard to do the conversions yourself. But look, it goes all the way down through. Planting density, how many plants per square metre am I going to have? And on it goes. Now let me give you some of the subheadings. First of all, we've got the project specifications. Secondly, we have an executive summary. Thirdly, expected revenue. Then we've got a whole spreadsheet on cost of revenue, operating expenses, a balance sheet, a presumed balance sheet, a break-even point. It calculates a break-even point for you. Personnel costs, how much you're going to spend on wages and salaries. Equipment, how much equipment you're going to spend. Working capital required. Funding, where's the funding going to come from, and what kind of cost is that going to be? What else does it have here? All sorts of things. Extras you haven't thought of. Cash flow, your weekly and monthly cash flow. Incorporation costs. What's it going to cost you to incorporate if you're going to do a company structure, for example, or an LLC if you're in America. And finally, it's got a whole thing on your actual cash flow that you can put in there every month as you progress in your business. Now look, it's such an elaborate spreadsheet. I'm not kidding you. If you went to your accountant, and we've asked our accountant this question, what kind of money would you charge me to develop a spreadsheet of this complexity and this much information? The answer comes back, 3,000 to 4,000 Aussie dollars for an accountant to do this for you. Now, if you're clever and you can do this kind of thing yourself, you will spend many, many dozens of hours trying to recreate this spreadsheet. So this is a highly valuable document, believe you me. And if you're really serious about starting your aquaponics farm, you will realise what a valuable tool this is that we've placed in your hands for this course. You see, I'll say it again, I really don't want to see any failure stories. Sorry, we want all our students, if you're going to venture out and you're going to borrow money, or you're going to get some relative to fund you, or you're going to use your own money, we want to make sure that you've done your due diligence. That's why we ask Water Farmers if we can use this and pass it on to you, and they're very happy for you to do that. It is the most wonderful, elaborate spreadsheet. Please make good, diligent use of it. I just want to emphasise that this spreadsheet is so well constructed that when you change a figure on one page, that change of figure flows all the way through, not quite all of the sheets, but most of the sheets, it flows all the way through. So, you know, when you update, when you try something, you will find that it will change things all the way through. Now, just a cautionary note, when you download this in its original form, you'll find that some of the figures are not real. And that's not surprising. It's just basically a guess. You need to put your figures in for your project. So don't look at this and say, oh, that's too big, I can't use that. Obviously, this is based on a pretty big farm. The figures are in there. That's not your farm. You have to go through and put your figures in and then watch them flow through all the spreadsheets and get to the answer you need at the back. And you can also work it the other way. You can come from the back end and say, well, I want to make, let's say, net $50,000 a year, just to pull a figure out of the sky. So you can put that in and watch it go all the way through the system, and you'll come to the beginning and you'll see how big a system you have to have in order to be able to achieve that kind of income. And of course, what price per lettuce you're going to sell, or per kilo of tomatoes, and on it goes. You're going to have to do a fair bit of work, good diligent work, to make this work for you, but you'll get some answers. Now, I'm telling you, if you go and see your investor or your bank manager or your relative and you have this all worked out, you're going to be seen as a very credible person in promoting your project. So it's very important that you take advantage of this wonderful tool that we've given you. It's an active spreadsheet.